comes to our personal debt, first and foremost, list everything you owe. The next step is going to be to identify what are the interest rates of those loans and what are the minimum payments. That's going to help us get organized and identify the weight of our debt within our budget so that we make sure that we're staying on time, so that we keep winning in this game of credit, so that we continue managing our credit profile as much as we can. I would add dates, especially for credit cards. What's the due date? And try to pay at least 3 business days before, just to make sure that you make the payment on time. And then we're going to review our budget and incorporate all of these debt payments. Once we do that, we're going to be able to start talking about and identify what is the best payment plan for you. There are 2 payment plans. One is called the avalanche method. The other one is called the snowball method. These 2 methods work when we are prioritizing paying off debt. So that means when we have money set aside that we're like, okay, what am I going to do with this additional money? And if paying off your debt is one of your priorities, what you would do with that extra money depends on which strategy you would prefer. The avalanche method is where you prioritize debt with the highest interest rate. The other method is where we prioritize the smallest account in dollar amounts. Of course, we're making all our minimum payments. It's more cost effective to follow the avalanche effect. The more interest we pay, the more expensive it gets. However, from a psychological perspective, when we have little debts hanging there, it feels like a lot. So that's when the snowball effect can be very helpful, because then you're prioritizing those smaller accounts and then you're going to pay them off. So the list of your debts is going to decrease. So it really depends on what is most important to you. If you're a person that needs more motivation to pay off debt, then stick to the snowball strategy. And if you're trying to decide which ones to choose, you can look at debt payment calculators and discover when will you pay off your debt and how much interest you will pay. That's another extra step that you can take that I encourage you to take. So once the first item on the list is paid off, how these debt management plans work is you pay the first one, and then once you pay it off, you roll over that total payment that you were making, the minimum payment plus the extra that you were adding, you put it towards the next item on the list. It starts trickling down until you pay everything off. If once you have this list, you see there's a lot of little items here, I would like to make less payments, that's when consolidating your debt can be a strategy, right? Sometimes people take personal loans to do this. So with one loan, you pay everything off so that you have one payment. If you already have financial professionals you're working with, reach out to them, especially bankers, right? If you already have a checking account, identify what are your options. And the other piece is refinancing. If the interest rates out there are better than the interest rate you have in whichever debt you're focusing on, it might be good to inquire about refinancing, right? So that you're paying less on interest.